All right, guys, welcome to Charisma Decoded again. I'm Ten Magnet.
I'm Cajun, Derek. How's it going, guys? It's good to see you again on a nice Monday evening, at least for us in the Eastern Time Zone. And we got a real sizzler tonight.
We got an awesome class for you guys today. We got really cool announcement about a new scholarship that we're going to be doing that you guys are going to be really excited about. And also, this is actually one of my favorite lessons. This is something that I think a lot of guys. A lot of guys get a lot of benefit out of this class because it's all about learning how to get better with the kind of women that you really like than you are with average women. So it's really special in that kind of way.
Yeah. And I see you guys are already starting to comment here from what we just said about giving us feedback on last week's homeworks. That's great. Looks like you guys are actually having some good feedback from that. So that's great. Yeah.
So Dan, let's read these out because Dan's saying that he says feeling social feels a lot more easier. He's just got to work on being natural and not retreating into your head. I mean, that's so important, actually. And following the 3-second rule. And then Jairus says, I've been doing the introductions and I've been noticing a change at work, just finding myself having more small interactions and being social. Again, this is what this is all about. And then Darren says that he had his first boot camp this weekend, which is awesome. He says it was an eye-opener, and that Jason is also known as Lemon Jacket on our website. He says Jason is the man. That's really incredible too, because we got, the boot camp really does teach you some stuff that really adds in well with what we teach here in Charisma Decoded. They're sort of designed to be complementary products. And then Ranveer says Trigger Words works great, and he's using it during his professional job search networking. Awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
That's so good.
It's one of those things too. Trigger words can help you anywhere you need to have a conversation. It's essentially small talk is what it is. Mm-hmm. But it makes it a bit more interesting instead of you going to those safe conversational strategies that most people go to, the weather, what people are doing, some random thing with the job you're in. You can actually be a bit more specific and get into things that they're bringing up naturally when they respond. So it makes it automatically more interesting.
Got another comment. Hellburn says, finding myself striking up conversations with people randomly. It's crazy seeing how receptive and friendly most people are, and the ones who aren't isn't really affecting my mood. That is incredible, and that's, the fact that it's crazy seeing how receptive and friendly people are, that is your beliefs changing. And as you continue to do this, you're going to start to see people. You had an irrational belief that people were not friendly. And then when you went out and tested it, you realized, hey, you know what? 95% of people are happy to speak to somebody, especially when that person is bringing some positive energy. And it changes your attitude about things. And you're going to find that your attitudes change continually as you go out and experience this. And Rit says, focusing on the external helps me not run out of things to say. Awesome. Yeah. We got so many guys I'm glad to hear you guys are getting a lot out of this course. And what we're working on is we want to give more. We want to help you guys get more incentives to use the stuff that we're doing and to benefit from it and to take this class like as seriously as you can so that you can get as much out of it, because it requires input on your side, right? Like if you go out and the guys who are commenting here who are experiencing these really good results, they're the guys who are going out and using it. They're doing all the exercises, and specifically they're doing the exercises and then they're taking that stuff and they're using it in their everyday life, which is really important, because it is in that real life that you actually see the benefit, where it actually becomes a real thing and changes you as a person at a deep level. And we want to continue to help that. So that's why we're really, really excited about this new thing that we are offering, this new thing that we're rolling out as part of the program. And you don't have anything else to say, right? I'm just going to get into it. All right. So this class is how to draw her in. Women are not all the same. This is about how to draw the right ones into your life. And what this class is going to be about, it's going to be about how to take your ideal woman from our first class, the one that we talked about in that visualization exercise, and create a clear game plan so that when you meet her, you're going to know what to do. So that's what this whole class is going to be about. But before we start, I want to talk about this new thing that we've unveiled, and this is a over $7,000 scholarship we're calling the Platinum Scholarship. And what this is, what you get with the Platinum Scholarship is we're gonna pick one guy out of this group, who out of this class, sort of the MVP, what you could say, and we're gonna give him a free platinum ticket to the Love System Super Conference. It's going to be going on We haven't picked the exact dates, but it's probably going to be going this summer, this August in Las Vegas, and you're going to get a free platinum ticket to the Love System Super Conference. So in case you don't know what that means you're going to get 3 days of classroom instruction. Okay, so the Super Conference, we have all of the instructors come together in Las Vegas at one of the giant hotels in Las Vegas. Last year it was the Flamingo. It's probably going to be someplace different this year. And we're all teaching together. And each instructor gets up and talks for about an hour on his best subject, okay? About his best subject. So it's all the guys talking about the things that are their subject matter expertise. And that goes on for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But you're also going to get 4 nights of infield when you get the Platinum Scholarship, okay? So 4 nights of infield, that means that we take you out on Thursday night, we go out on Friday night, we go out on Saturday night, and we go out on Sunday night, and then we sleep from Monday until the following Thursday because we're completely freaking exhausted.
All together in the same
bed. Yeah. Interest declines.
Yeah.
With the Platinum program, so what distinguishes the Platinum from the Gold is that you get 4 nights instead of 2 nights of infield. And then the Platinum Scholarship, you're going to get an instructor, reception, and social. So that means that at around 9 p.m., let's say, on Friday and Saturday night, we're all going to meet up in Derek's incredible suite, and we're going to have some drinks and some crackers and veggies and stuff like that, and talk about plans for the day, and also and you're going to get to meet all of the instructors. So last year, we had maybe 10 platinum guys and 30 instructors or something like that. So everybody's just you're hanging out with the instructors in a cool and fun environment where everybody's really, really, really relaxed. And it's not classroom time. You know what I mean? And then the other thing you get with the Platinum Scholarship is you get this real Las Vegas VIP experience. And that's because when we're teaching the stuff for the Platinum guys, we're going to be going to the top clubs. I mean, pretty much everybody goes to the top clubs, but the Platinum guys always go to the top clubs. Top clubs, you're getting the bottle service, you're getting the table, and you're going to places like Encore, and we went to Hakkasan last year. We went to Hakkasan, and Calvin Harris was playing at Hakkasan on the night that we were there, and then the second night it was Skrillex. Skrillex at Tris, just playing at Super Conference. Yeah. And if you don't know who those guys are, they're electronic musicians. They're kind of a big deal. So that's the Platinum Scholarship, a free platinum ticket to Super Conference. Normally that goes, last year we were selling that for $2,997. Probably going to be about the same. You're going to get that for free, and it's going to go to the guy who, it's going to go
Platinum was more than that. Platinum was you're thinking of the Gold package, right?
No, 7,997.
You said 2.
What?
You said 2,997.
It's 7,997, not 2,997. But the scholarship is going to go to our MVP, basically. It's going to go to the guy in this class who we think has sort of epitomized what we want everybody to get. We want this to be, a little bit of a competition, but one where everybody is inspired to take this class seriously and to get the most out of this class. That's the kind of motivation we want to create out of this. So we want to, the criteria we're going to be using is going to be somebody who's dedicated to self-improvement. So somebody who's really trying and using the material, and it's about improvement. It's not about being awesome, right? So it's not going to be necessarily the guy who has the most success out of this, but it's going to be the guy who sees the greatest progress. So if you're the guy who, if you think you might be the shyest guy in the Charisma Decoded program, don't worry about it, because you actually have a head start at this point, because that's actually the kind of change that we want to encourage with these guys in this program. And then it's going to be somebody who acts with integrity, again, because we want guys, we want to encourage you to act with integrity, because I think that's a really crucial and important part of the stuff that we teach here at Love Systems. Someone who benefits his colleagues. So we're looking for somebody who benefits his colleagues. So that means somebody who's helping the other guys out, and providing contributing to the discussions and contributing his parts, and even just sharing your experience or the stuff that you've learned, obviously is benefiting the people around you. That's one of the kind of social dynamics we want to create in this course. And finally, we want to encourage somebody who's a doer, not a talker. And that means somebody who's going out again and putting this stuff into action. I mean, obviously benefiting your friends and participating in the forums and stuff like that is going to be really, really important. But it's not going to be just about talk about the amount of posts you make. It's going to be really about implementing this stuff into your life and sharing it with people. So those are the criteria we're gonna look at for giving the scholarship out. It's going to get given out on probably the last day of the program. And not sure exactly how. I think we're probably going to create a short list, and we're going to have you guys vote most likely on the sort of the top 5 guys that are nominated. But we haven't totally figured out how the selection process is going to go. But there is going to be a voting. We are going to solicit your feedback on who you guys think is the most improved, let's say, or the most deserving of the Platinum Scholarship. So what do you guys share with me in the chat? What do you guys think about that? Who here is excited? Who here wants to go to Super Conference? Who has been to Super Conference? If you want to share your story, what do you think?
Also, just so you guys know, you don't have to have already had a huge amount of contribution in order to be eligible for this. It is obviously we're going to look at that, but really it's starting from today. Everyone's on an equal playing field.
Yeah, I don't want people to feel like if they haven't really gotten involved, or if they're guys or if you have trouble, let's say, making it out to these live broadcasts. Don't worry about it. Like I said, this is a 6-week program. You don't have to participate right here in the chat necessarily. It's not going to. That's not going to be the kind of criteria that we care about. Although it is great to have you guys. Dan G says Super Conference was the best time. Alan says it's on his bucket list, and sounds good. All right.
It should say something that all the instructors that work for Lowe Systems really look forward to this, and these are guys that go to Victoria's Secret model parties and party on yachts and do all this crazy stuff, and yet they still look forward to the Super Conference experience because even when you're at the highest level of the stuff you can do with this, it's still the high watermark, and it's a lot of fun.
Super Conference is insane. It's incredible, and I look forward to seeing all of you guys there if possible. We might be able to help you guys out with that. We'll don't want to spoil the surprise. All right, so what this class is about. Again, I'm just going to go back to that. We're going to get back to the class. This is about taking your ideal woman from her first class and creating a clear game plan so that when you meet her, you are going to know what to do. Who here, if you met your ideal woman, would shit your pants and screw up? Be honest. Be honest. I'm getting some replies here. Yeah, lots of people can agree with that statement. All right. So here's the thing. Most guys get into situations where they are. They have worse game with women that they actually have a lot of things in common with, right? They have worse game when they really feel a connection with a woman. That's not the way it's supposed to work. It's supposed to work the other way around. It's supposed to be really easy when you meet a woman that you're crazy about, right? Because she's supposed to feel the same way, and you can create that kind of situation. But you have to set you have to get your ducks in a row. You have to get your system set up. You have to be prepared to meet the kind of woman that you really like. Because if you are not prepared, you're going to mess it up. And you can see it kind of like a job interview, all right? If you got offered the perfect job, the perfect job where it's like, this is what I have wanted to do for my entire life, how would you react? How would you behave in that job interview? Some guys come in to a job interview and they really, really, really want to show that they want the job. They are thinking, I want it. All right. And other guys come into a job interview with the attitude that the employer really wants them, and that's a stronger attitude, right? And that's the thing. If you're actually the perfect person for this job, that's the attitude you should have. You should walk in if you're a really killer computer programmer, and Apple or Google or whatever are looking for something, and you're like, oh yeah, man, I do search algorithms like crazy, right? You're gonna walk in there and be like, hey, do you guys want to beat your competition, All right, well, you need to hire really good programmers, and you're going to come in there with we're going to come in there with an attitude of, here's what I can do for you, and that is something that employers are looking for, right? Because the worst situation, if you've ever been in that situation, it's, yeah, Dan's saying whenever an interview is way too eager, I don't like them because they're thinking about themselves. The interviewer is like, I want this job. The interviewee is like, I want this job. I want this job. Oh man, this would be so much money. It'd be great for my career. It'd be really, really helpful. Employer doesn't care. The employer's not going to help you to help you out on your career. They're going to help. They're going to employ you because you have something that they want. And so, you want to be able to meet, when you meet the woman that you really like. What you don't want to do is be that me interviewer on the left-hand side here who is begging for the job, because that implies that's not understanding what she wants, right? The secret is balance. The secret is, because again, you don't want to be the guy. The secret is balance. The secret is finding a good fit. You know what? I like something special about you, and you are really going to like me because why? Because we got to think about the reasons. You got to be able to answer that question. Why would she want to date you? Your ideal woman. Why would she want to date you? That's the question we want to answer to ourselves. And then once we know the answer to that question, then we're going to be able to, when we meet her, we're going to be able to come in with that right level of swagger. Just enough swagger where it's like, yeah, I know that you're the kind that you need a guy like me, but also not being too much of an asshole and acting like you're too good for her, or not letting her feel desired, right? Because again, as I said in the Secret of Attraction lesson, attraction in women is the feeling of being desired by a powerful man who she can trust, and she needs to feel desired, right? Same way that if you come into a job interview, with the attitude that you don't need a job and they only need you, you're not going to get hired either, because the boss is going to think, well, this guy, he'd be really great, but he's not going to stick around, right? And that's essentially what women sometimes think. But most guys make the other mistake and being too eager, right? So in this first exercise, I'm going to lead you guys through an exercise that's about creating a game plan for meeting your ideal woman, and not just that. Another thing you're going to notice when you implement this stuff is that women change their behavior when you give them expectations. People change their behavior when you give them expectations. If you come into an interaction with the idea that, I like people who are like this, and I think this is silly, and you communicate that in a very honest way, people are going to want to be that kind of person. So when women are giving you a hard time, a lot of time when women are giving you a hard time, let's say on a date, you meet a woman online and she acts like she's too cool for school. A lot of time women are doing this because they think that that's what guys want or what guys expect from them. It doesn't make sense if you're like, what the heck? But if she's reading like Cosmo magazine or getting bad advice from other women on dating, a lot of the time when a woman acts like a princess, there's a lot of that behavior is because she actually thinks that guys are going to respond to this. All right, and you want to flip that script, and you want to communicate early on in your interaction with her, perhaps on the first date, that here are the things that impress me, and here are the things that don't impress me very much. And what you're going to find is that a lot of women they're not lying. They're just going to show you that side of themselves, right? And you're going to find your interactions go much, much, much better. All right. So here's our exercise. First exercise, I want you to picture your ideal woman. Again, we went over this in the first lesson, but I want to do it in a little bit more depth. Maybe you've had time to have that sink into your head a little bit. what are her personality qualities? Again, if you got your pen and paper, or your notepad on your computer. Again, close all your social media and everything like that. Close all that stuff up and write down what are the personality qualities that you really care about. Do you want a woman who's smart? Do you want a woman who's outgoing? Someone who is adventurous? All right. What do you want? Feel free to write it in chat, by the way. Throw that stuff into the chat. What are the traits you're looking for? Are you looking for a woman who's feminine, nurturing? Is she organized? Is she, does she have a positive attitude? Like these are not. You can even have some physical things. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I wanted this to be like 90% personality wise, and I want you to picture that out in a lot of detail. All right. But don't just like list off every single positive quality that a woman might have. All right. We got to be a little bit realistic. For example, I want you to visualize like what are the downsides of the qualities that you actually like in a woman, right? Because every quality, you don't just have like good and bad, right? They all come with downsides, with side effects. So one thing I say, smart people are sometimes a little bit nerdy. Right? They overthink things. Adventurous people are often impulsive. Adventurous people get bored easily. So, if you want a woman who is simultaneously very adventurous, but also a homebody who likes going home and cooking and, doesn't do anything wild or crazy, you might have trouble finding a woman who has those somewhat contradictory traits, right? You're gonna, if you want to date a really adventurous woman, you're gonna have to deal with the fact that she's probably going to want to go out and do things even when you're tired. Right? These are the kinds of things that if you really want to picture like a real woman in your mind, you've got to picture that stuff too, right? You got to picture the positive and the negative. So what are the downsides of the qualities that you like? All right. And then the next step is once you have that written down, pick 3 or 4 qualities. Again, there's going to be some that are like really important and some that, as you get to ones that are less and less important, sometimes you might want to just leave them off. But the next one is, what do you have that she wants? So, because now that you visualized her strengths and her weaknesses, what do you have that this sort of woman would like? What are your qualities that go well with this? So if she's smart, if you want to date a smart woman and she's a little nerdy, what are some qualities that you have that that a smart and nerdy woman might like? Well, maybe you're smart and nerdy yourself. Maybe you're cool and outgoing so that, when she's being smart and nerdy, you can be the social one, right? You don't have to have the same qualities as her, right? You just have to be able to figure out how those qualities fit into her life in a way that is beneficial, all right? And this is part of the secret of seeing yourself as getting a realistic self-image, not a negative one or an unrealistically positive one, but recognizing the way that you benefit the people around you, and how that makes people want to hang out with you, how that makes you a positive person. So, what are your strengths? What are your qualities that benefit this kind of woman? So let's see in the chat here. Do we have any good answers? All right, we got passionate about something outside of work. All right. Okay, we've got a whole bunch of answers here. All right, so Darren says driven. That driven is an awesome one. Again, so what are your qualities? Are you driven too? All right, and we can be a power couple, right? Which might be something that you might say if you met a woman who is driven. We can be a power couple. She's going to love that, right? Or maybe you're a chill guy and you say, you know what, I like driven people because I'm actually a really relaxed dude, and I'm kind of driven, but I find that I like hanging out with driven people because they like me because I bring some chill and relaxedness to their world, right? You might put it that way. Noyan says he likes women who are intelligent and outgoing. Awesome. Social, outgoing, adventurous, feminine, and appreciates life. Awesome. Going after women who are feminine, that's a great one. Complimenting women on being feminine. It's something that women don't get complimented on very much. Dedicated to athleticism. All right. So it looks like you guys have the stuff written down. You've got the stuff written down. That's great. Oh, got to be a Game of Thrones fan. Walking Dead for me. Hey, having good taste in culture, having good taste in media. I think that's really important. I can't if women like boring stuff. I can't handle that stuff. I can't work with it. If I'm dating a girl who likes watching soap operas all the time, I can't do it. Although, all right. So, what do you have that she wants? Now you've got an idea about it. What are her frustrations in relationships? Think about that. All right. So, what does this woman who has these qualities? What would she get? Why is she single? What does she get? What does she get annoyed with about guys? What are the qualities that other men don't have that she feels like she's missing out on? Right? Again, this is going to relate to what do you have that she wants? What are her frustrations? It's basically what do you have? What are the things that the guys that she's already dating don't have? All right? All women have frustrations in relationships, okay? All women. The most beautiful women in the world who have guys all over them, they have frustrations with relationships, all right? You might think they don't, but they absolutely do. And you got to think, what are the things that she likes? If it's just that she's really, really hot, sometimes her frustration is guys, I wind up dating douchebags because normal guys are intimidated by my beauty. Normal guys don't feel like they're deserving of me and they psych themselves out. That might actually be a problem she has. So she'll say something. She'll say something like, or you might say something like, I bet you have trouble meeting guys who aren't intimidated by you. And if you say that, and that is actually a frustration that she has, then you're going to get you're going to get her eyes opening up. You're going to get a really positive reaction from her. Okay. So apologize, guys. We got a telephone going off in the background. I'm just going to keep talking. So what are her frustrations in a relationship? And so look at these, this in quotes. I used to write, I put this on like my dating profile, and I would say this to girls every once in a while. It's like a really cheeky thing that I would say, but with the right women, it would work really, really well. I say, I bet you have trouble meeting guys who are smarter than you. So what does that say, right? Well, why does that work? It says it's saying a bunch of things. It's saying she's smart. It's saying I'm smarter, and it's saying I realize that smart women like you have trouble meeting men who are smarter than them. And when I would say that to women when that hit, it was on. Because that's exactly what a woman who has trouble meeting guys who are smarter than her, that's exactly what she wants a guy to say to her. Right? Once you understand her frustrations, and the hard stuff that all kinds of women have to deal with, the disappointments and things, it's not easy for women, right? If you understand that, you don't have to understand that in like a soppy, like, oh, for you, let me help you with your emotions. You don't have to be that guy. You just have to say, I realize you must deal with this kind of thing. That's too bad. Too bad. Wouldn't it be great if there was somebody around who could solve that problem for you? You know what I'm saying? And the idea that you're the solution is usually presupposed, but you might have to put that out there. And so then the other thing is, what do you like about her that other men don't get? What do you like about her that other men don't get? Again, so most of this is about what do you offer to her, and that's important because that's the thing that she's often thinking about the most. People think about themselves, right? They're selfish, so she wants the guy who benefits her the most, or has something that she likes. But women also desire to be desired, so she wants a guy who appreciates her for something special about who she is, for something unique, for her, the traits that she is most proud of in herself. Those are the things that she wants guys to like her for, right? So what is the thing that she's proud of about herself that you also really like, right? You're picturing your ideal woman. So what is it? And so, an example of that might be, I like that you're the kind of woman I can talk to this thing about. I like that you're the kind of woman I can talk to Game of Thrones about, and it's not boring. Something as simple as that can be a really powerful kind of statement. And the more specific and the more unique it is, the more she's gonna realize, like, okay, I have a really awesome connection with this guy, right? Okay, so the next step is we are going to work on creating your personal game plan. All right. So if you haven't, we've got more notes. I'm sorry about all the writing, guys, but it's about taking you guys through these exercises. They're really helpful. All right. And okay, so Darren is saying, so just go back to the last slide. We're talking about what are her frustrations in relationships, and Darren's saying she can't find someone who can hold their own. Right? Okay, she's a confident woman, and yeah, she can't find someone who can hold his own. A guy who's not needy, a guy with a different sense of humor, somebody who's good for her in bed. That's really important too. Actually, that's one thing that you can, at the right time you bring it up, it's gonna really kill. These are awesome examples, guys. And what do you like about her that other men don't get? That's one that like a lot of you guys are gonna have to think about. I'll be honest. You might have to go out and use this stuff, and start with the teases, teasing the women that you teasing the women that you're interested in. And again, so finding smart women and calling them nerdy, finding ambitious women and calling them and joking about being a power couple, all of these things. And then you move on to the deeper levels as you go through this. Because, what do you like about her that other men don't get? A lot of time you might have to spend some time with women who have these traits before you're going to see that. Okay, so, all right, so we're going to start. What's your personal game plan? So first of all, ask, how are you going to be able to tease this woman? How are you going to be able to tease the girl that your ideal woman? What would you do to make fun of her a little bit? All right. So again, you can tease her for being adventurous. You can tease her for being nerdy if she's smart, right? And I'm sorry, guys. This slide is almost exactly identical to the last slide. But you want to find some teases. You want to find some questions that you can ask her. Sorry, guys. This is the slide that I wanted to be on. All right. So you want to find some teases that you can use for the kind of woman that you really like, who has these qualities that you're looking for. All right. So you might say, "I bet you do this." So you're a nerd. She's a smart girl. I'll say, "I bet you watch Game of Thrones. I bet you watch a nerdy TV. I bet you, I bet you like reading XYZ books. All right. I bet you have trouble guys who are meeting guys who have your trait. I bet you meet a lot of guys who have this negative trait. So who have the opposite of what I'm doing. So I bet you meet a lot of guys who have trouble holding a conversation. I bet you have trouble meeting guys who are smarter than you. I bet you have trouble meeting guys who can keep up with you when you're running your marathons. I bet you meet a lot of guys who are a lot of fun, but they're not in shape. I bet you meet a lot of guys who are cool, but they're not ambitious enough for you. All right? Write some of those things down. What are these things that you're going to say to the kind of woman that you're really interested in? And and you can use them. We're going to talk in a few slides about how you can use them, like today, basically. All right, you can use them today, like on Tinder or online, even if you don't even want to leave the house. You can use some of these teases. All right. Another thing you want to think about, again, with these properties in mind, you want to think about your three questions. All right. So are you XYZ? You're smart. So are you Like, are you like an engineer or something? Are you a big traveler? You're adventurous, so are you a big traveler? You can ask a question that leads into a power subject that highlights your qualities. So what this is again, we're talking about what are the qualities you have that she wants? You want to be able to tell stories that bring that stuff up. So if you are an adventurous guy, you want to tell some stories about some adventurous things that you've done. One question I love asking is, what's the most adventurous thing you've ever done? Just like that. What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done? It doesn't have to be sexual. All right, and you get some really cool answers to that. But then what happens when you ask that question is she asks you the same question back. What's the most adventurous thing you've done? And you have to be able to answer that. If you're not able to answer it, you have to be able to answer it. If you do have something prepared to answer it, you're going to go into a great story, but you don't want to get stuck. So what is the most adventurous thing you've ever done? That's a great one if you have, if those are one of the qualities that you care about. And then you want to have, think of 3 statements about yourself, again, that's going to appeal to this kind of woman, right? I'm the guy who does X, Y, Z. I love this thing, all right? So I love traveling, but I can't just go to like a all-inclusive place in Cancun, all right? Because I have too much energy for that kind of thing. If I go to one of those all-inclusive places, I'm going to just drink all the time. I'm going to come back and I'm going to be too tired. So when I go traveling, I like going to places where there's some athletic thing to do. So I like going skiing, or I like going to like a surf place or like a scuba diving place, because I get too bored if I just have to sit on a beach. All right? That's describing something about myself. It's saying a lot about my character, right? When I tell that little story. Right? So I'm a guy who does this. I love X. I like it when you do this thing. So again, if you're talking about women, going after women that have certain qualities, I like it when you do this thing that illustrates the quality. And again, you're gonna notice this when you see it in a woman, right? I like it when you talk about your plans for the future, because it shows that you're not needy. I like it when you tell jokes like that, because it shows you have an interesting sense of humor. I like it when you go around and talk to everybody in the room, because it shows that you're an outgoing person. I like that. I like that you don't wear makeup because you're naturally pretty, right? I like that. I like that you're open-minded and that I can take you to a crazy, authentic Thai restaurant on our first date. That's awesome. These are the kind of compliments you give a woman, and they're really going to kill with exactly the right kind of woman that you like. So you can use all this stuff in online dating, right? So here's just I'm giving you guys some exercises, some homework, basically. You can use this in real life, but also you can do this on your online dating profile. So this is my online dating profile. I have a girlfriend now, so I don't use this, but this used to work for me pretty good. I just describe myself super duper briefly, and then I have message me if you have trouble meeting guys who are smarter than you. Bonus points to short women and women who have good taste in music. Why? Because I like that stuff. Those are some things that are interesting. And I like women who have good taste in music. Short women, that I tend to find, that's a physical thing that I tend to like, and works good. All right, women who have those qualities would message me all the time. All right, I have a really easy time because they just go, hey, I get bonus points. I really like XYZ music. All right, so just imagine your Tinder profile and just update it with just following that simple little formula. And just the idea is you want to think of how you describe yourself to a woman and what you're looking for to a woman. All right, and that kind of pickiness does a really good job. Most guys, when they make their online dating profile, they're like, hey, I'm a normal guy. I just really want to meet somebody. I like doing this. I. They talk about themselves, right? But you don't want to, women want to feel desired. So if you communicate, if you have these qualities, we're gonna hit off really well, then that actually is way more powerful. All right. So you can use this stuff tonight on your online dating. You can send women, these teases that I was talking about, the 3 teases. I bet you do this. I bet you have trouble meeting guys who are like this. I bet you meet a lot of guys who are like that. You can throw those out on any online dating site, whichever one you prefer. You can update your profile. And of course, you can go out and use this, right? So if you're using some of the stuff that Derek was talking about in the last classes about the conversation, if you're going out and meeting women, try throwing some of this stuff into the mix. Some teases, some questions. And if you hit the right kind of woman, some women are not going to respond. Some women aren't going to have the qualities that you're looking for. But the ones who do, it's going to work really, really well for them. So take these exercises we did earlier, use them in real life. You can use it in person and online. Report back to the Facebook group or the Charisma Decoded Room. And even if you're watching this video, you're not here watching it live, you can still go back and report to the Facebook group and engage in that discussion. At the end of the class, we got a little thing in order to go on to the next class, you have to rate this lesson. So if you could rate this lesson from 1 to 5, with 5 being really, really awesome and 1 being like, meh, pretty blah, that would be awesome. And, earn your way to the Platinum Scholarship. The guys who are using this stuff the most and getting the most benefit out of it are going to be the guys who are going to be in the top running for the Platinum Scholarship. It's the guys who are helping one another out. So guys, just to, do you have any questions? Do we got any questions or comments? Or, do you want to go over some of these, how some of these things might work in real life? Let me know. Oh, Darren, that's all right. If you already rated the course, that's still cool. But yeah, does anybody have, empathetic? So Darren is talking about qualities he's looking for. Loyal. That's a great one. That's a really good quality that women don't get complimented on very often. And so if you say, you seem like the kind of person who's really good to their friends, you seem like the kind of person who takes care of the people around her, who's loyal, and I really like that. I respect that. It's a rare quality. Again, you compliment her on that, it's going to have a huge, it's going to be very powerful. Positive attitude, a foodie, good taste. That's really important. Having a feminine energy, that is also a really great one. You just say, yeah, I'm a guy who's got a very typical masculine energy. So when I meet a woman with a feminine energy, it's really attractive. There's a lot of chemistry there. And you can do this, like, the compliment doesn't have to be platonic. You can make it's sexy. It's hot when you do these things. So Alan asks, where in a conversation do you bring up these questions after approaching someone? You could do it at almost any time. You can do it really early on. Like, are you the adventurous type? Is something that you can just say, 2 minutes into a conversation. You seem cool. Are you like the adventurous type? What's the most adventurous thing that you've done? It doesn't have to be sexual. You can say that really early. All right. As soon as the key is, you want to do this kind of stuff as soon as she is engaged in the conversation. It's not going to work if she's still like, who is this guy? So you got to make her maybe laugh or get keen about the conversation first. But that's it. A lot of the stuff is pretty basic questions. Okay, Jared says he's switching his online profile tonight. Awesome. Yeah, 3 teases and questions and statements all seem really natural. Absolutely true. Can you briefly talk about how to be using this stuff practically, like an example of an interaction which highlights them? An example of an interaction that highlights them. Here's a perfect example. This is exactly how I met my current girlfriend, who I've been dating for 2 years, who is exactly the kind of woman that I like. I used exactly this process to meet her, and she's a really, really smart, she's got a PhD, really, really smart, really, she's short, and she's just got she's very feminine. She's got a very feminine energy. And the way that I met her was by, my opener was, I like your glasses. They make you look smart. Are you actually smart, or are you faking it? And she said, I'm faking it. Which is what women actually usually say if they are actually smart. And then I was like, good, I'm faking it too. And we had a little joke. And I just, we hit it off in the conversation, because I was joking about how I was not smart, but of course the way I was doing it, made it reveal that I was pretty smart, I guess. And she, and we started moving the conversation on to traveling, because I like women who are adventurous. So I asked, have you traveled much? And she opened up about that. I was like, oh, that's awesome. A lot of women wouldn't do that. And I told my own stories of traveling, of which I have a bunch. So that was one example of how it goes. But the cool thing is, when you come in, especially when you come in with these teases, women, if they like what you're offering, they really jump on this. It really works. Okay, because it's good flirting, right? Chris asks, can you emphasize all the other girls and their negative traits to show what you don't like? Yes, I mean, you shouldn't go overboard on that, but you can say, oh man, a lot of women are like this, and I really like that you're another way, right? You can totally emphasize that. Yeah. And Darren's asking I'll throw the homework back up, so let's do that. And I'm going to go through the exercises. Okay, this is basically the homework. 3 teases, 3 questions, 3 statements about yourself. And then if you want to go, I'll take you back through your ideal woman. This is the your ideal woman exercise. What are personality qualities? What do you have that she wants? What are her frustrations in relationships? What do you like about her that other men don't get? All right. And oh, look, we got Derek Kitchen back.
Awesome.
All right. So this one, guys, sorry we didn't go an hour over schedule like usual. This is actually on schedule for, I think, the first time. And what we got, Derek, is going to be offering next week. We got humor, improvisation, and creativity. Do you want to talk a little bit about what that's going to be like?
Yeah, sure. It's something that I think I mentioned before I got into this, studying seduction and dating and confidence and all this sort of stuff. I was actually into improv competitively. In fact, I competed nationally. So humor was always a really big backbone of my entire personality. I was always in theater. I did a little bit of stand-up, although I wouldn't say that I was ever a stand-up comedian. But humor is something I've always been super, super passionate about. So in the next module, I'm gonna be talking about that, talking about humor, improvisation, and creativity. How to develop your own personal sense of humor. I'm gonna go over different examples, different types of humor you can have, what works better depending on what kind of personality type you have. And then some easy examples of things you can do, as well as some great homework and exercises you guys can do that I think you guys really like. So that's on Thursday, so it's just in a couple days, and I haven't totally finished the presentation yet, so I'm being purposely vague because I'm not exactly sure specifically what we'll be going into, but that's the gist of it.
Awesome, guys. So we got Peter says he's got, or Alan says, I've got time to watch this again.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. I don't want to give you guys too much stuff. This is what's more important is that if you got an extra hour, take the stuff that we've done and put it into action. Because I think we're going to do maybe going forward a little bit less talking and a little bit more taking you guys through the action of putting this stuff into practice, because that's what this course is all about. It's all about being super practical. So go out, use this stuff, send some messages to women in online dating or in real life, and then report back and tell us how it's going. I can't wait to hear you guys' stories. Do we got any more questions? Okay. Noyan says, teasing can be tricky sometimes on the wrong woman or done at the wrong time. Can you guys go over maybe some of the pitfalls or common mistakes you can make in teasing? I mean, here's the thing with teasing: you always want it to be mostly positive, right? So when I say, I bet you have a hard time meeting guys who are smarter than you, I'm saying she's smart, right? Like, I'm not saying, I would not say, I bet you have a hard time meeting guys who are as dumb as you, because that's an insult. The real thing is, it's about your delivery. It's about your confidence, because women will test you if you tease them, and it's more kind of like a dominance assertiveness thing. They'll sort of test you, and if they think that you're a wimp, they'll go, "Oh, I'm really offended," and treat you poorly and get offended by ridiculous stuff. And if they don't, if they think that you're a confident guy who doesn't care that much about whether they're offended, they're not going to get offended, and they're going to just go along with the teasing. So the secret is, you got to practice, you got to get better at it, start small, and you always want to keep a positive energy when you're teasing people. It's not about putting people down. It's about joking. It's about having the attitude. Imagine it's your little brother or your little sister. That's one way that I like to treat it, is treating her like she's your bratty little sister. And so you're affectionate, you like her, but you don't think she's cooler than you, so you're going to tease her a little bit. That's the attitude you want to take.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I mean, I always have situations where, to be honest, it's more about the eyes and letting them in on the joke that it's like a thing you're doing together. You're not taking it, you're not like trying to hurt her feelings, you know? So if there's a situation where I met a girl, and let's say, an easy one is always where they're from, an easy way to tease them. So if I'm in Canada and she says, "Oh, I'm from PEI," I might say something like, "All right, let me guess, you grew up on a potato farm. You're a potato farmer, or your parents were." Maybe that's a joke, just because PEI, if you don't know, is full of potato farms. But I'm not going to be like, "Oh, you're from PEI. What are you, like a fucking retard?" Right? Like that's you're just being insulting at that point. So there needs to be like, you can tease them, and in fact, you can even go to places that you might think, "Oh, that's a bit harsh." I wouldn't jump to there, but I would. You can if they do have that sort of deprecating kind of sense of humor. But it really comes down to the vibe that you're having. It's a good way to test, actually. I find that I like girls that can take a joke, and so if there are, I will test a lot, and if they don't get it, or if they just take it as offensive right off the bat, I know I'm probably not going to get along with them anyway. So it is a really good litmus test to see if they're going to be someone that I'm going to even enjoy talking to, let alone being attracted to.
So yeah, and some really easy teases that you might use as a beginner would be something like, one thing you can do if girls get offended, just be like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are so mean. You're like the mean girls in high school that bullied me. I'm going to have to go talk to my psychiatrist about this. Like, I'm going to have to go back into therapy about this trauma." And you can say that really deadpan with like a little bit of a smirk on your face. And usually if they get offended, that'll often save you a little bit. That'll often get you out of the doghouse sometimes. Ranveer asks, "Can you use teasing on an entire group, for example, in a bar or club?" Yes, absolutely. You can totally tease an entire group of people. The thing is, you've got to be, it's got to be about something real, right? So, like, I mean, if you read the old Mystery Method stuff, and we've got stuff that's like how to, we've got these canned teases that I don't advise you guys to use, really, but they are, it's got to be on something real. So you can say like, "Oh my God, you guys look like you're way too excited. What the hell is going on? You guys are such party animals." That might be something. Again, I'm teasing them on something kind of positive. Sometimes you can tease them on, "You guys look really serious. You guys look kind of bored." That can be a little bit riskier, but usually it's fine. But it has to be something they're all kind of doing usually, right? So that's the hard part about teasing a group. It's finding some legitimate tease that that actually can apply to the whole group. Sina says, "Met an Afghani girl who's really cute, good combo, until I dropped something about her being an opium dealer. Didn't go too well." Yeah, that's a tough one.
The old opium dealer tease.
That's if it's cliche, it can hurt you. Usually teases. Here's the thing: if you're doing well in other things, you got your body language and everything else going well, the teases are not going to make a woman who likes you go to not liking you. If she already doesn't like you and you're teasing her, then that can often let her be like, "Okay, now I'm leaving." So I wouldn't worry about teasing too much. It's not gonna, as long as you do it all decently well, it's not gonna blow things up for you. It'll only blow things up for you if you're already in a really bad space in the first place. All right, fellas. It is 9 p.m. and thank you so much for coming out today. I'm really excited about this platinum scholarship. I hope one of you guys is going to get it. And like I said, go out there and use this stuff and report back. And we're going to be talking with you guys all through the week on the Facebook group and on the Charisma Decoded class page. So go for it. All right. Talk to you later, guys. See you on Thursday.